Minmus, cold, distant, like your mom. This tiny moon has puzzled Kerbin scientists for generations. It's like a puzzle wrapped in an enigma, shoved face first into a Rubik's Cube full of platypi. Recently, the Kerbal space program sent crewman Kerman to investigate Kerbal's most distant satellite. Not all of his findings were released to the public. He reported that several patches of Minmus's surface emitted a faint green glow. What could it be? Alien life? Radioactive contamination? A delicious minty dessert? A probe was launched from Kerbal Space Center to further study the phenomenon. Christened simply the Minmus K probe, it was equipped with a suite of green glow detecting sensors. Its findings were quite unsettling. Bum, bum, bum. Patches of green glow scattered all about the moon's surface. Clearly, on-site investigation is necessary. Hello and welcome back to 3 Martini Launch Plays Kerbal Space Program. I am 3 Martini Launch and I am playing Kerbal Space Program. In this series I'm playing the 0.23 career mode. This is episode 6. When last we left I picked up the 4 items seen here on this particular column of the tech tree. Remember, I have to go one column before I move on to the next. This one I like for the skipper engines and those larger fuel tanks. All these are going to be used in today's launch. The one-man lander can. I don't know if I'm going to use the 3-man capsule today, but it's certainly going to be used in the upcoming mission. The hitchhiker storage container, the clampetron docking port, and of course the larger batteries and improved solar panels. All this is good stuff that'll be used. And I kind of lament that I didn't pick up the barometer, but the only place I'm going to be able to check barometric pressure is on Kerbin, and you don't get a whole lot of science for that. I would like to have this drogue parachute, but I really only need that for Duna and maybe Eve or Lathe. And I won't be going there before I have another opportunity to pick up this this technology. Finally, this minimal stuff. I did launch a probe, and I did that in between episodes. You saw it earlier there in the intro, but I didn't, you didn't really need these smaller probe parts. I just went ahead with the full-size parts. And I'm not much of a flyer, so I'm not interested in this stuff. I will have to buy it. Obviously, I remember I have to buy a complete column before I can move on to the next one. So, anyways, let's get into the VAB and start building something. All right, here we are in the VAB, and I was gonna walk you through the entire building of this ship, and I had built it before, so I was building it from memory, and it still took like more than 15 minutes. And I didn't think that was going to make for a very good video. So if that's something you want to see, go ahead and leave it in the comments, and I'll go ahead and continue with the building. But I'll just take you on a walkthrough of what's going on. Well, the mission I've got planned, the Minmus mission, you can see here it's mission 6A, is this particular launch. And the Minmus mission is going to consist of several launches. The first one is going to be this science station. And then I'm also going to send up, this is science and habitation. Actually, got the what's that thing called? The mobile processing lab, and then we got a hitchhiker storage container, for the Kerbals to live in while they're doing the processing. I'll have a lander that's going to be capable of landing on Minmus and coming back to the station. And I'll need so that'll be a launch. I'll need fuel for the lander to refuel, because it's going to have to make several landings. There are 9 biomes on Minmus, and I figure I can pick up 2 or 3 biomes with the science with each landing, but that still means that at least 3 landings. So I'm going to have a fuel module to refuel, so that's another launch. And then finally a crew delivery and return vehicle, so that'll be a 4th launch. I'll show you all the vehicles. I'm probably not going to go do all the launches, but or show you all the launches rather. So let's take a look at the space station right there. Yeah, pretty sleek design. You can see I've got a lot of SAS. I do like the steering authority. The RCS here is not so much for attitude control. The SAS can take care of that. But if I have to make minor adjustments in my orbit, that should be able to accommodate that. 4 Clampetron Juniors are on the outside. one on each end. That's more than what I'm going to need. And to push this thing to the moon, or to Minmus rather, we've got this little puppy right here. You can see it's giving me 1492 delta V. That should be enough to get me to Minmus and into orbit. And I've got a little mech-jeb on there. Remember, the mech-jeb acts as a command pod, so the mech-jeb will do that. And again, I've got a little bit of some solar panels and stuff, so I can deorbit on RCS when the time comes. And then finally, the lifter vehicle. I went ahead and saved the lifter, so maybe next time when I build a spaceship, I can come back into VAB and walk through the whole process, because I can just tack that lifter on there. And lifters are kind of generic. You can go ahead and, I mean, if you want, even just use the Zenith family of lifters. Although some of them may not work in career mode, depends on what technologies you've unlocked. So anyways, that's the ship. That's the plan for the mission. I'm going to get this out on the launch pad. I'm not sure. Yeah, what the heck. I'll go ahead and we'll do the heavily abridged launch than I normally do. So I'll see you out there. And here we are in the launch pad, and it's liftoff. And we're going to get through this pretty quickly. Liftoff, drop off some stages, gravity turn, circularize that orbit, set up a maneuver node to take me to Minmus. Go ahead and start the burn on that maneuver. And go ahead and Minmus sphere of influence, circularize at 15 kilometers. And there we go, the Minmus science station is in orbit, and that fuel tank is all but full. So I did pretty well with that. And not to mention, we've got the other fuel module on the way. Let's go ahead and closing on in for a dock at the science station. And here it is, and boom, that is how docking is done. There you go, we got it with the extra, and the pusher for the fuel module is almost full. For all three of those are all but full. And nothing like docking in the dark. We got the lander coming in for a dock, and I hope it comes out at least a little bit clearly. You can see it there, you'll see it later. And we got some really good footage of the crew delivery and return vehicle coming in to dock at the Minmus science station. And here it is, and once again, it's just float on up and boom, docked. That's how you do it. So let's see, I'm going to transfer the fuel out of the pusher for the crew delivery and return vehicle, the DRV. And go ahead and drop that off, and it's going to go ahead and just use RCS to deorbit itself into onto the Kerbin's Minmus's surface. We got some crew to transfer. While I'm doing that, I'll tell you about my cigar. I'm smoking a La Floridita limited edition. This is I think a Magnum. It's got maybe it might be a 60 ring gauge on it, and it was a little tight draw to start, but once it got going. It is one tasty cigar. Again, La Floridita. Good stuff. Anyways, we're transferring some crew into the science gizmo there. And we've got, I'm not even pensioning. These are the three new guys. I don't even know who they are. And one of them's, oh, okay, this is the third one coming up to the lander. And he's, don't get in. You've got science to collect. If you remember, I doubled up on some of the science at the, actually I might not have shown you, but I doubled up some of the science. It's not worth much, but go ahead and collect those, collect the science out of those canisters and whatnot. Again, it's the second time around for high orbit and low orbit around Minmus. It's not worth much, but every few points counts. Come on, I like how jerky this is. Collect that science, collect, and then go ahead and take it over to the command module. That's the one that's going to be taking it back to Kerbin. And go ahead and drop it off there. And then fly back over to the command module of the lander. And let's see. Well, I'm getting dizzy. Come on, get in there. And And there we go. There we go. Go ahead and clean those science experiments. And I think that's going to be about it. There's the Minmus Science Station all ready to go for next episode. We've got the lander there to the right, and we got the return vehicle. Anyways, and I want to thank y'all for all the cards and letters. Keep them coming. Good night, everybody, and you too, Mrs. Miller.